the extra option is specific to the company of CEU. But the transactional data is related to this particular area. Here we can see the posted transactions, audit trail, and cash flow forecasts.
The audit trail, Muzammil, what level of audit trail do we have?
Yeah, any financial entry from subledger contains an audit trail. Any financial entry like this. This is a financial entry and GL impact is there. So we can will be able to see the audit trail, which contains the voucher transactions and related stuff.
So audit trail means that the connection of subledger transaction to the ledger transaction. This is what we mean by audit trail right here.
Yeah. And who did this? And what was the time created by whom? What was the time of creation?
Even if any transactions are deleted, can we check it out?
Deleted from where?
From, for example, the transactions were deleted by, for example, receivables transaction. It was first done, and then it was.
And no matter. For example, if a journal and a payable journal, or actually receivable journal, like in accounts receivable, we have a payment journal. We created it, posted the transaction, for example, AR payment, and then we posted the transaction. Once we posted, we deleted this, for example. But and the posted transaction that is been posted to the GL will have the audit trail. But whenever we will check, we will let the system check the or go to the original document. System will not be able to go to the original document, but system will let you know that the journal batch number was 433010, like this here, or 443010. So system will tell you that this was the batch number, but you will not be able to go to the actual journal because it's deleted. Then we have a very strong budgeting module. Budgeting, there is in Dynamics CX, it covers top bottom budgeting, bottom up budgeting, both cases it covers, like budget from other modules to GL, and from from forecast to GL, and budget controls are there, which were not there in AX 2009. Like if we exceed with the transaction, for example, our budget, purchasing budget of a particular month of a particular expense was 5,600. So if we are going to raise a purchase order with the procurement category of that particular expense account, it is 6,000. System will not allow it to proceed. So system will stop you, or system will warn you that because as far it's all related to the settings that we have done, like this particular prevent budget update, provide warnings or none. Okay. So these are the three options.
Okay. So we can do budgeting. I mean, while doing budgeting, we select the GL accounts, right, with the relevant dimensions. Can we see an example of a budget, and can we see the example of budget versus actual variance?
Budget versus actual variance is available, like actual versus budget. Fiscal year, if we will select the fiscal year. Okay, budget model, I will select the budget model total, update totals.
This budget model would be the budget, actual budget ID, right? Budget record for the year of audit.
It's related to some budget register entries or original budget. Okay. So this report normally shows the actual versus budget. So we are in a CU, and if there are any transactions related to actual versus budget, then we'll be able to see it. And there are two parts. One is budget planning, where you plan the budget, and once the budget is finalized, you can apply marketing statistics, all the current level of market for our business, and all the mechanisms that you want to apply, you can apply in the budget planning. Once you are finalized with the budget, you can transfer the planned budget to the budget register, and cross-verify it. Once you are done with this, then you can finally complete the budget or post the budget entries for the next year or multiple years.
So what's the structure of the budget? Is it by month or by quarter?
Yeah, it is by month, by date. Like this.
And this is for the general ledger only, right?
Yeah. This is related to particular account here.
So does it also allow to create budgets for example, I mean, instead of GL account, for example, the budget for stationaries for different departments, can it be?
It will allow.
I mean, on the general ledger only, or on some inventory or procurement module as well?
Yeah, procurement module as well, because it will be related to a forecast of let me just show you. It's available in AX 2009 as well, but a complete a controlled environment is available here. Procurement. Forecast. Like this. You can make the forecast, create the forecast for each item. Supply forecast, demand forecast. Supply forecast is related to procurement, and the demand forecast is related to the sales, and the inventory forecast is related to inventory transfers and inventory receiving or inventory issuing.
Okay. Can we see the demand forecast?
Let me just check whether we have any demand forecast for this or not.
Can we define the demand forecast parameters?
Demand forecast parameters in what sense? Like,
I mean, of course,
for example, I will create this. I will create this one demand forecast, for example. This one demand planner, and for a particular account, and sales quantity 20, and yeah, I have created one line, and if I want to copy it for the complete year, I can copy it. That every month, according to our forecast, every month there is a demand of 20 quantity from this.
This 20 values coming. How we are getting this value? I mean, we need 20 values.
From
this
now
sales quantity, this purchase quantity.
This is
On what basis we are getting this quantity?
It's not a forecasting tool. You get the forecast from outside, and you just put the value here.
Well, still, I am not able to understand how I am getting this value. It's just from the sales manager. Okay, I need 200 quantity in next 6 months. Is it something like this?
Yeah.
Our system is calculating forecast on the basis of different parameters.
See, there is a possibility to do this from the previous year transactions, but it will be able to do this in AX 2012 R3, but in R2 till CU7 it is not there. We just have to enter the quantity and the amount that we receive from outside, and from sales manager, from somewhere, or from the customer itself.
And what is the advantage after that? If I define the demand forecast, what I will get it?
Advantage?
It is integrated with the purchase?
Yeah.
Purchase order will be created automatically on the basis of demand forecast?
It is, yeah, again, it's something which is related to setup of master planning. If you have included the forecast and like demand forecast or supply forecast in the master planning parameters, then it will include.
Muzammil, what is this? I mean, this is a general sales quantity 20, or is it for a specific item?
It can be a specific month, for example.
But this amount of 799, how is it calculated? We just entered it?
Because if we let me just, it's 39.99. This is its standard price that system is bringing from the price list. So if
Okay, the item number, item number is on the top. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, item number is on the top here. Yeah, okay. So we can have that in every 7 day. Till December 31st, and the site and warehouse, we can put site and warehouse. There will be a demand. See here, system has created on a weekly basis. After every 7 days, there is a demand of 2020 quantity for the complete year. So we have all the forecasts in the below area for this year 2014. Once we created the sales forecast or demand forecast, the inventory forecast will automatically be created, that there will be an issue of 20 quantity after every 7 days. Supply forecast, it is not directly related. If we will use it in the parameter, the system will create the purchase orders accordingly. And again, it is it's not decided that this will be purchased or produced internally. So if it is produced internally, then purchase order will not be raised, but actually it will be a production order. So this is somewhat related to the forecast. And then, yeah, one thing I forgot why I was here. Yeah, this particular demand forecast, you can have a forecasted balance of each period, and then once the forecast is done, you can find once the forecast is done, you can finally post it to the GL budgeting. From the forecast, you are creating the revenue budget, and same with the it will apply to the demand forecast, inventory forecast, and supply forecast as well.
Muzammil, could you please give us any example for the I mean, demand?
Any example? See, there are two mechanisms and to create the sales target. One is to just put a revenue figure, expected revenue figure in the GL budgeting, in the budget register entry, and create a full year budget, or you can divide it on a monthly basis. The other is make a quantitative budget, and the system will take the GL account that is associated with that particular item at the time of issuance. For example, if we are talking about sales, system will take the revenue account and put all the value of that is accumulated of the quantity and the item price. So the this total of each month will be posted to that particular revenue budgeted revenue account, and then will be able to see it in the budget register.
Okay, so we have a relation of the demand forecast that is related by items, by customers. So the GL accounts, once we post it, so the general ledger budgets will be automatically updated.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, I mean, what other sources we have for budgets? I mean, like demand forecast for items, customers, and
Vendors.
And for example, we have payroll for the next 12 months. So we have a budget for payroll as well.
See, budget for payroll is not directly from here. There is no budget for payroll. Or see here, no planning for payroll. We can just, as far as these things are concerned, we can do it in the budget register entry or budget planning areas at the GL level. But if we want to use a particular dimension of the employee, we can use it. An employee can be our dimension, our worker can be our dimension.
Okay.
Okay. So again, a dimension concept in Dynamics AX, you might be aware of this. That in Dynamics AX we can have unlimited financial dimensions. That is available in dimensions are available in GP as well. So there is custom dimension, which is where you can put any value and n number of values. Like if I put an custom dimension, I can name it any name, and then we can put dimension value of mask, that it will be initially 2 digits and 2 characters. This ampersand is a character. So if I will put like this, system will not allow me to do this. System will tell that like this. So I can put n number of values, n number of dimension values, and it will be either shared or company specific. A shared is a generic a shared value consists of generic properties of this particular dimension value. Then if I want to specify a company, I can specify a company like CU. It will include some cost accounting things, some financial statement related stuff. So I can do like this as well. Okay. Okay. So this financial state dimension normally can be either custom value, or it can be coming from some forms like agreement form, bank account form, where ID and description will be the dimension value ID and dimension value description. So values will be coming from that particular form. If we will amend the value, it will be amended here as well. So cost centers, there is a form of cost center in GL and in organization administration as well. Expense purpose, fixed asset groups, fixed assets, and item groups, items, jobs, legal entities. So these kind of things can be our dimensions in dynamic CX. But if you will put custom value, you can have unlimited number of n number of dimensions using different custom values. Okay, so this is somewhat related to GL area. There is another thing that configure account structure. Configure account structure that it is specifically related to a company, and that you have a shared chart of account, but in a company X, I want to use it like account, department, cost center. But in company Y, I want to use it account and department only. And within the company X, I want to use the balance sheet account as only GL account, no department, no cost center. But whenever it is related to organizational expenditure like expense accounts or administration expense accounts like 5-6 number of expenses. So a system will use department and cost center and purpose, for example. So these three dimension system will use for some set of accounts, but for all the other account system will use only structure of. Here I have some structure that is a balance sheet account structure like this. In this structure, we can have main account, project, and business unit. There is, I just want to show some balance sheet structure. Yeah, this is kind of a balance sheet structure where only main account is there, and the organization is not concerned more into the department or cost center. But whenever there is a P&L structure, there comes the department and cost center. Okay, so this is somewhat related to the accounting structure. and then we will be able to attach this particular accounting structure with a particular entity. Like this, these three accounting structure we have attached to this particular entity CEU, and containing in this particular chart of account corporate main account shared, and okay. Then again, as usual, realize gain accounts, realize loss accounts. I hope this is available in Dynamics GP as well.
Yes.
Okay. So realize gain, realize loss accounts are available for the actually realize payments and realize profit or realize loss related to exchange rate, and
Right.
the unrealized are related to the change in the exchange rate, where invoice is at different rate and today's rate is different.
Mm-hmm.
So before payment is arrived, we come to know that whenever payment will arrive, we will we will recognize a gain of 20 real in the gain loss, or we will have a loss of 20 real because the value of euro is now down or it is up. So these kind of stuffs you can set up here. Then there is allocation, there is periodic journal. You can in I don't know the exact name, I don't remember, but there was a concept of quick JV
Mm-hmm.
in GP. So I will use the same concept in the form of a periodic journal. So we can create the periodic journal and save it for the further use. Like this. Every periodic journal contains some particular values and vouchers, renting journals. Okay.
Muzammil, can we see what is available in cost accounting?
Cost accounting. Cost accounting is the thing which is not related to finance area, but it is core related to you can say a calculation of production and production related expenditures, material costing, and overhead, labor overhead, and all these stuffs. And it is used when there is a you are not using it is used for estimating for estimation of product cost without creating a production order. So you can have cost transactions, service transactions, and accruals, budget overview, and service budget, flexible budgeting.
So this
So
will
it's
see
more of a
in regulation
budgeting
with
and
manufacturing.
estimation of a particular item, especially when there is no production, when you are not using production module. Can you excuse me for 5 minutes?
Okay.
Okay.
जी ताहिर साहब।
जी सर।
इस दिन में आपको गुजरी सुना दें।
हाँ, वैस भाई बैठे ना ऑस्ट्रेलिया को, ऑस्ट्रेलियन सॉन्ग सुने।
यार वो तो बड़े चीख पे चिल्लाते हुए होते हैं।
इनको गजल तभी याद आती जब किसी को देखते हैं, उसके बगैर इनको आती नहीं है। तभी ये घर पे है तो इनको नजर नहीं आएगा।
अच्छा अच्छा।
शफीक भाई इसीलिए तो मुझे दुश्मनों की कभी जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ी।
अब मजीद कम हो जाएगी आपकी।
आपकी मजीद ख्वाहिशात पे एहतराम किया जाएगा।
तो आपके पास तो बड़ी सुबह हो रही होगी इस टाइम, क्या टाइम हो रहा है?
इतनी बड़ी सुबह भी नहीं हो रही।
छुट्टी वाले
10
दिन
बजे।
यार 10 बजे। अच्छा वहां पे तो हड़ताल है कराची में।
इसलिए कराची में कोई बंदा भी लॉगिन नहीं है।
हाँ वो कुछ बिल्कुल बंद है आज। वैसे आप लोग क्या सैटरडे को होते हैं क्या वहां पे?
नहीं
ऑपरेशनल है?
नहीं।
हम्म।
अबे नवेद सो तो नहीं रहा है? नवेद अली देवा साहब।
बहुत जाग रहा हूँ, सोच रहा हूँ कि क्या सुनूं।
यार असल में मुझे तो वही वाली सारी चीजें नजर आती हैं जो मिसिंग है हमारे उसके अंदर, जीटी के अंदर ना। और जो कस्टमर का पे नजर आ रहा होता है, चाहे वो बजट वेरिएंस हो, चाहे वो डिमांड फोरकास्ट हो। अब लेकिन मैं ये सोच रहा था कि जो कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है वो कैसे फुलफिल की जाएगी। और या
और
तो
ये जो
लोग उसको
बजट
इम्प्लीमेंट ही नहीं करते।
जो बजट इंटरलिंक है वैसे जो चीज सामने आई है।
नहीं होता है। अगर वो देखें ना, आप डिमांड फोरकास्ट भी देख लें। आप जैसे हमने डिमांड फोरकास्ट रैक पे किया था, अच्छा सेल्स के टारगेटेड कह रहे हैं आप दहार में किए थे। अब अगर ये दोनों चीजों को मैं देखूं, ये देखूं कि ये इम्प्लीमेंट कैसे होगा, तो ये एक मुश्किल सवाल है। क्यों नवेद? जो सेल्स अभी हमने बनाया था पूरा मॉड्यूल, उसकी टोटली अलग ही रिक्वायरमेंट थी।
तो वो सिनेरियो जरा डिस्कस करें ना इससे, कि अगर ऐसा ऐसा हो तो।
सर उसको समझ ही में नहीं आ रहा, डिमांड फोरकास्ट से समझ में नहीं आ रहा उसे।
उसने बोला डिमांड फोरकास्ट में तो सिंपल ये है कि आप डिमांड आपके हाथ में आप
अपनी
डाल दो।
अपनी डिमांड डाल दें, वो क्या फोरकास्ट भी। तो कहते हैं सिस्टम से जनरेट हो, मुख्तलिफ पैरामीटर्स के ऊपर हो, मुख्तलिफ आइटम क्लास के ऊपर हो। हर आइटम क्लास की अलग पैरामीटर्स हैं। अब अगर अगर आप इसकी सेल्स टारगेट देखिए ना, फोरकास्ट क्या नाम है दहान की, तो हर आइटम क्लास है, 2 आइटम क्लास के ऊपर जो वो उनकी 6 अपना आइटम के एट्रीब्यूट्स है, उसके बेसिस के ऊपर हर एक का अलग फार्मूला है। अब वो चीज कैसे आई अंदर?
मतलब ये समझिए कि वो जो आपने फॉर्म बनाया ना रैक पे, जहाँ जिस पे वैल्यूज दिख रही होती हैं, वो फॉर्म इन्होंने दे दिया है। पीछे
कौन
वाले
सा?
फॉर्मूला मतलब जो जिसमें वैल्यू ऑटोमेटिक आ जाती है, वो
हाँ
फॉर्म इसमें
नहीं, उसके
मौजूद
लिए
है।
वो भी
लेकिन
तो है ना।
पीछे जो
अब ये
कैलकुलेशन है
स्लो,
वो आपको
अब
कस्टमर।
स्लो आइटम है, फास्ट मूविंग आइटम है। तो अब अगर वो देखें, हाँ जो बजट डिवाइस वाली चीज तो पूरी मैप कर जाती है, जो रैक पे इम्प्लीमेंट आपने की हुई है आर्टिकल अकाउंटिंग के साथ, तो वो तो मैप हो जाती है। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए कॉस्ट अकाउंटिंग बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न है, तो उसका पूरा मॉड्यूल है आपके पास।
हाँ सर, कॉस्ट शीट्स बन जाती हैं, काफी चीजें हैं। अंदर एलसीटी भी है।
अच्छा। नवेद भाई पेरोल कब दिखा रहे हैं आप?
जब बोले सर जितना पता उतना दिखा देते हैं।
कल परसों?
कल नहीं परसों कर लेते हैं।
मंडे को भी गो टू मीटिंग में नोटिफिकेशन भेजिएगा सबको पेरोल का।
मैं सेटअप करके भेज देता हूँ।
ठीक है ताहिर, फर्स्ट हाफ ठीक है मंडे को?
सर कल पता चलेगा सर, मैं वो एक मीटिंग सेट होनी है मंडे को, मंडे या ट्यूसडे को, तो भेज दें।
मंडे फर्स्ट हाफ का भेज दो नवेद, अर्ली मॉर्निंग का ही,
ठीक है मैं भेज देता हूँ।
9 AM इस तरह से ना। यूजुअली हमारी मीटिंग स्टार्ट मुझे हम स्टार्ट करते हैं, जितनी अर्ली मुमकिन उतनी अर्ली भेज दो। अब नहीं आएंगे 9 बजे भेज दो, हमारे 8 बज रहे होंगे।
ठीक है नो शो।
कुछ इसी शौक और जस्तुजू के साथ ही खत्म हो सकता है कुछ। इस शौक और जस्तुजू के साथ ही खत्म हो सकता है, सुबह 8 बजे, सुबह 7 बजे।
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह।
Yeah. So I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Okay. So we were at the cost accounting area, and in the cost accounting, as I've discussed, we can have cost budgets and service budget, flexible budgeting, and this budgeting will eventually be posted to the budgeting module and the budget register entries. So, but mainly we will use because Microsoft is planning to discontinue the cost accounting area, and Microsoft had announced it at the launch of AX 2012, but maybe in AX earlier it will Microsoft will discontinue this. So we'll use the conventional production and process manufacturing things and discrete manufacturing things for the material level budgeting and estimation. And also Microsoft has put some enhancements in the master planning areas where you can have material acquisition, material related budgeting, and cost related budgeting, and a planned order for the complete supply chain area.
So master planning, I mean, can we have some auto-calculated values using master planning areas?
Like what?
For example, there are some slow-moving items, some fast-moving items, different parameters. Based on that, we need to make a plan for our inventory, for our sales.
Sure. This can be done. This can be done. Because for the slow-moving items, the transaction rate will not be will be slow as compared to the fast moving items. So you can put this in the parameter so that system will take it from the forecast and generate the demand or planned sale order, planned purchase order, or planned purchase requisition, planned transfer orders according to the parameters that you have provided into the forecast.
Can we see what parameters do we have? I mean, what parameters we can give at max?
Okay. This particular demand forecast area is the same which we discussed before, but it contains transactions. But we have default order settings for what will be the minimum order quantity, what will be the maximum order quantity for a particular transaction. Then we have item coverage. In this particular site, for example, I will select a site and a particular warehouse. In this particular warehouse, 200 must be the stock level, minimum stock level, and maximum stock level is, and we can also define the maximum stock level as well. So the system, whenever we have any open order which reduce the minimum item quantity below the 200 quantity, system will generate, the master planning will generate the demand purchase order or supply, actually a procurement order, or you can say purchase requisition based on the parameters. System will directly generate it, and once we will confirm it, we will transfer it to the purchase requisition, or directly we will generate the purchase order accordingly. So it's just like a reorder level. And we can have a purchase lead time, production lead time, how much time it will take to complete a particular production order for a specific item, and what will be the lead time for the transfer order. For example, if we will have one site in Jeddah, one site in Dammam, one site in Riyadh. So from Riyadh it will take 1 day, or say for an example it will take couple of days if we're bringing the items or transferring the items from Dammam to Jeddah warehouse. We can associate it, and we can set, for example, 2 working days for a particular transaction. Minimum on-hand inventory and maximum on-hand inventory, and what dimensions inventory dimension system will take consider for this planning. So these kind of stuffs are available as at a glance for supply chain of an item. Net requirement, it covers some open orders related to, for example, if any open order is it shows on-hand quantity, and what is the accumulated required quantity from the from different sales order, from different forecasts, that for example on-hand quantity is 200, but some open sales order of 400 quantity is available on the sale order form, and 200 of transfer quantity is required from Jeddah to Dammam. Then as a total of 400, because 200 is available on hand and 400 we require more, so system will create 400 planned purchase order of a quantity 400 from the master planning through this net requirement. And gross requirement is also similar to the particular net requirement. So gross requirement and net requirement is also similar. Gross requirement actually covers different plans of a particular item. For example, we have planning we have different planning mechanism for one particular order, and net requirement will show only one planning mechanism, but gross requirement will show all planning mechanisms, like planning mechanism 1, planning mechanism 2, like this. So gross of this will be shown in gross requirement. Okay, then we have item costing here, and some posting to the GL posting accounts are here. Well, discuss it once we will move into the supply chain area. Anyways, in accounts payable, you can have apart from the general transactions like a payment journal and purchase invoice, purchase receiving, you can have invoice journal for service invoices, and for the service invoices or utility invoices, you can have a invoice journal, you can have invoice approval journal, invoice register, and vendor invoice pool excluding posting. These all four are somewhat related to the service invoices based on the mechanism that you want to run in your organization. For example, you have one data entry operator who will enter all the service invoices, and then you want its approval, and then it will first the data entry guy will enter all such transactions in invoice register, which will one posted will be there in invoice approval journal, and from invoice approval journal you will be able to, or finance manager will be able to post the service invoices. Or if you don't want this particular approval level thing, then you can just put it into the invoice journal and then post it.
Okay, Muzammil, can we just see one small cycle? Let's make an invoice, and then let's approve it, and then make the payment. Because
okay, sure. Adventure services. This one. For so suppose we have one service for a invoice. It is the workflow, and we don't want to move to the workflow because okay. So let's now check it. AP invoice. Vendor account is this one. That is Adventure Services. This the invoice number that is coming from the vendor. for complete December month. So by default, system will bring us to the credit side because it's an invoice, and the result, as a result of invoice, the vendor will be credited and some expense will be debited, or yeah, some expense will be debited. We can have like 1,200, and offset will be some expense.
What would be, Muzammil, if the expense has to be allocated in multiple departments somehow?
Expense has to be allocated in multiple
dimensions.
So it will be catered in allocations.
On the same screen?
Then employee who will approve it. Okay. So you will validate it. Okay. Summary account is not there. So I put the vendor person. Summary account is accounts payable US. Okay. uh, so I hope it is okay now. So it is posted now into two departments in the same selling expense, and divided into two, or segregation is into two departments. So this is one way of invoicing. If we go with the invoice register, then we will have we'll put into the invoice register, then it will move into the invoice approval journal, then finally invoice will be
Okay.
posted.
Okay, Muzammil, is there any possibility to make this, to break up this invoice in installments? Because sometimes what happens is that, for example, for rentals,
Yeah.
we post
Yeah,
one
yeah.
invoice in the beginning of the year and make it.
Yeah. You are talking about payment schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. So payment schedule, I will put the same in a payment schedule.
I mean payment schedule for sure, but invoicing schedule as well. Because especially in construction companies, what happens is currently we are in payables, but they do it in receivables as well. That okay, they post one invoice in the beginning of the year and they want to segregate it in 12 invoices every month of the same amount, so that it could be every month it could be posted and the payment could be received.
So so according to you, that you will post one invoice and system will create 12 lines, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you know in GP there is a scheduled payments are scheduled in both payables and receivables. We normally use it for construction company, for leasing companies. So just
Yeah, it is available as payment schedule is there, but that payment is received in you can receive the payment in 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, according to the installments.
Okay,
But
let's
here
make a
you
small
can put
schedule.
it on a monthly basis. It is we use in projects actually.
Yes, projects
We
as
use it in
well.
projects actually. We use it in projects. But your projects are your projects are fixed price, right?
Yes, normally.
Normally it is fixed price, so there will be an on account invoice, and either you can copy or you have to manually create it in for 12 months for a monthly invoice, because for a fixed price it will not uh, uh, it will not cater any of the material requirement, or all on account invoices are not based on the material or any cost which is utilized, but it will invoice based on some fixed value. So these fixed value have to be manually entered into the system accordingly.
Okay. Okay, let's see the scheduled payments at least.
Okay. 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 So I have generated this particular thing, and system will make the payment schedule accordingly. I will go to the main table form or view details to go to the vendor form, and then there will be two invoices. One is 1,200 and the other is 250,000.
Mm-hmm.
But the payment will be when we will go to for its payment. Here comes the difference. Payment journal, payment, Nigeria 3001, and the default account is automatically populated. Now I'll go to the function and then go for the settlement. This settlement is for a normal invoice.
Mm-hmm.
That is 1,200. This is normal invoice. Once I will close this, system will put this invoice and put some discount, cash discount of $48, and we have to pay 1152. We'll validate it. Then we will simply generate the payment, method of payment to check, bank account US open, okay. So the check number is there. Here the check number is here. Able to see the check number. Then we'll able to post it. This is a normal invoice.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put some vendor guide discount account. Okay. Well, anyways, because in the back end there is an account is missing. I'll put this account in the later phase. Currently, I'm just I'll go for the invoicing structure for the next invoice, where payment schedule will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. This is for the next invoice. Okay. Payment schedule. So, by mistake, I have not entered the payment schedule here. So it's not putting up, bringing the schedule. Otherwise, it will bring this. It will segregate this 250,000 uh, uh, into 12 months, and we will be able to see 12 lines here rather than this
Mm-hmm.
particular one line.
So it's a matter of some setup and details.
Yeah. Otherwise, it will bring like if, like like this. This one would be the monthly invoice, monthly schedule of payment. If we would select the right payment schedule. So it's a matter of selection. System provides this particular functionality. We'll again validate it, and then we can generate the payment. And then we will post it. So this is related to some payment cycle. We have similar cycle for the receipts, and for the receiving we have free tax invoice. In accounts receivable we have free tax invoice for the service invoices if we are not using the project based services. Again, you can enter the customer like in invoice journal, you enter the vendor here, you enter the customer, all the information of the customer, then description of the invoice, service, and then a revenue account which you want to charge. So 11 invoice revenue, for example, expenses, then quantity will be
Quantity is what over here?
quantity of unit price of service. So we took this particular service 11 times, for example. So unit price is 120. So quantity multiplied by unit price is equal to the line amount. If there is only one service, then we will like a utility bill. Some service monthly invoice, then quantity will be 1, or unit price will be like this. So eventually we will distribute the amounts and save the others. Okay. So we can distribute the amount and then we will be able to post it 601. Okay.
Okay, Muzammil, what do we have? What options do we have for cash flow, cash forecasting?
Cash flow forecasting, we have cash flow forecasting. We in Dynamics AX, this like a general concept. Cash flow forecasting describes the cash inflow and the cash outflow based on some open orders, based on some received quantity, or based on some delivered quantity, or based on some open invoices. System will let us know according to the payment schedule, according to the term of payment. System will let us know the expected cash inflow or outflow.
Okay. We have a ready-made calendar for that?
Ready-made calendar for this, I have to check it, but I don't think so it is available.
So, I mean, for inflow and outflow, we'll have to make our own report.
Again, please.
as you said that we can see the cash inflow and outflow based on the transactions.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make our own report for that.
And no, there is no cash flow report is not there, but we have to yeah, we can make it in the financial statements like cash flow forecast report. We can make this cash flow statement, and yeah, we can do this like in normal financial statements. We can put arrange one or set up one particular cash flow report, or else we can customize it, or we can develop one report in SSR to see the cash flow forecasting. Anyways, it is somewhat related to the cash inflow and the outflow, which needs to be set up from the GL parameter, accounts payable parameters, accounts receivable parameters. So once we will move into the finance and finance module detailed discussion, I will discuss it.
Okay.
And same for the project accounting. We have if I have not sent it, I will send the complete course outline of the finance and project accounting as well.
Okay.
That will cover, and for the advanced, especially for the customers which is coming from the other ERP background, like GP background. So it's somewhat it's not only the training. Actually, you guys have to discuss the scenarios that what you have implemented there and why. If any customer, existing GP customer, is coming from GP to AX, and then how you have or what solution that you guys have given to them in GP. So I can propose the similar solution or near to similar solution in AX 2012. So I hope that this will solve the purpose. Otherwise, a normal trading session will be enough. I know it will be good, but you know, the major cause is to implement AX for existing GP customer and new customer of the year.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay, sir. So anything else?
No, inshallah. If you have anything else to tell us, just go ahead. Otherwise, we can conclude.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Muzamil. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Inshallah, we'll let you know. Allah Hafiz.